Yo, I feel like singing that Willow Smith song right now. I really do. I don't know. It's stuck in my head, bro. Um,
Which one?
Officially, the wait a minute. She
Oh,
performed at Coachella, and the clips have been all over my TikTok. And all morning, I've just been like, "Wait a minute! I think I lost my conscience in a sixth dimension." So I've been singing that. Right
it's
now,
a good song.
right
She
now.
sounds she
Yeah,
sounds good on that too.
she
She
sounds
that's
great. The live
such a
version is even better.
and she's one of those few artists where like the live version of the song. Remember what was that other one that went viral? The Called a
Um,
Vibe. That one. Have you heard the studio version of that song? It's fucking terrible.
no, no, I haven't.
It is not good.
I listen
The
to
live version is amazing.
I listen to TikTok radio only. Like, that's how I get all my new jams and stuff. But nonetheless, hold on. First of all, we got to do a proper intro. I am
Yeah.
here. I am Meelz. Of course, this is the A Show. You're tuning in, episode 288 of these damn things. Have we been doing this 288 weeks in a row? If you're surprised to hear the voice on the other line, yes, Justin is not in today. We're doing something very special this week. We're doing a little Freaky Friday. We're doing a little Topsy Turvy. We're doing a little something else where Justin is going to be on the War Report this week with Cyrus. So this week, I have Quan here from the War Report. We're doing it a little bit different style. You get a break from everything that happens Tuesday and thereafter. To talk about everything that happened on Friday and, well, I guess everything from like last Wednesday, the hereafter. But Quan from the War Report, welcome back to the A Show. What is up, my friend?
Thank you for having me. For anybody who doesn't listen to the War Report, you should. My name is Quan. Just want to introduce myself real quick. I have been a wrestling fan for over 20 years. Been with the A Show for has it been three years? No.
I feel like we're in
Oh
the
my God.
third year. I feel like
I
we're
think we might be in
approaching the
the year.
third year. I feel like we're approaching at least the third year with this.
My
But
goodness.
you've done it. You guys done a great job. Like I legitimately, let me tell you, when I listen to you guys, I listen to you guys on Sunday when I go running in the morning.
That's good.
And I personally have my time aside to it. And like, funny thing, I'm wearing. I sent you those knee things that I think I'm wearing both of them right now because I ran yesterday and I actually had a good run.
Oh, good.
But yeah, a good run always means like pain and wholeness and knees and mad shit when you weigh more than the speed you're running, apparently. So that's why I'm going to put it on.
Well, let me tell you, my knees fighting for their lives. My knees, my feet. If anybody didn't listen to the War Report last week, I was telling Cyrus about how my shoe. I've been running in these shoes for a couple of years now, and there's like a big hole right where the big toe is supposed to be at.
You have year with an S at the end, bro. Like you're bugging.
I know, but you got to understand though, it's only for like I'm only using them half the year. It's cold outside out here, man. So like, I'm not running every week. I figured, you know what though, I should have got new sneakers. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Listen, sneakers deteriorate just in general.
Just in general, I know. Yeah. I'm bugging out. But my big toe went through the hole, and I like stepped on a rock really hard, and I've been in pain ever since.
Bro, we got to get you new fucking running shoes. New running shoes is a godsend, just in general, because you definitely feel the cushion of a when it's worn. Man. When you got a running shoe, you don't really feel it anymore because you're just used to it. But when you have the cushion of a new running shoe and it's pushing back as you're pushing down, you feel like, oh, this is how running is supposed to be.
You got a little bounce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bounce, something.
A little bounce.
It's I need to get new running shoes. I have my homeboy who works at Nike who says like, yo, just hit me up anytime. So I'm just waiting until. I'm waiting for a lot of things, to be honest.
A Nike plug. I'm waiting for a parlay to hit. I don't know about you. Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Who screwed me over the other day? Ruined my damn. Oh, it was somebody tall who didn't get 8 rebounds and really upset me. Who was it? Jared Allen. Freaking
Jared
Let me
Allen.
tell you something. That man, I was watching the game. That man looked like he wanted to be anywhere else in the world besides playing a playoff basketball game. He didn't box out. I didn't see that man jump for no rebounds. He had like 15 points, but it was like at the end.
Yeah, nah,
Man,
he got shook.
piss me off.
He
Piss
got
me off,
shook.
man.
No, so here's the thing with betting. I have not been betting on the Knicks games because
Understandable.
I just got too much more anxiety dealing with that just in general. So I don't want that to be added and weighed on it. So I don't really bet on Knicks games. If there's anything that I'll bet for sure, I might just bet Jalen Brunson over. That might be the only thing that I ever bet on these games.
He's hooping.
Yeah, he's hooping. He's doing really good. Otherwise, I bet on the other games. The best team by far, they haven't given me our roundup of the year for basketball yet. In terms of like who you bet on and like what are the best things. By far the best team consistently I've bet on is the Celtics. They are an efficient ass team. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, 25-20 from Jalen and Jason at least every time.
That's a team where you know who's scoring. You know who's
Yeah,
getting the buckets.
absolutely.
Maybe Horford
Everyone
every
knows the
once in a while.
role.
Yeah, everyone knows where
Yeah.
it's supposed to be at.
Yeah, and that's the teams that you want to go against. Like even the Suns as well. The Suns last year was my betting team because you know which position everybody's playing. You know Chris Paul is the assist guy.
Yeah, you get 8
DeAndre
minimum.
Ayton when he sometimes he like to pretend he a real power forward with his, so he may not grab some rebounds. He might just shoot the ball a little bit more often. But those teams where you know where the points are coming from. That's what I bet on. No offense to like, I don't want to say no offense, but I know you're gonna listen to this and be like, "Yo, fuck you." No offense to the Heat, but I never know where the
No,
points are coming from.
that team has no. Look, shout out to the Heat, shout out to Mark and everybody, but that team has no identity. I don't know who's supposed to be the guy there. I guess it's Jimmy. But then even when you
Jimmy
bet on
balled
Jimmy,
out.
you don't. He balled out.
Jimmy Butler Jordan. You know what I'm
I,
saying? Like,
I, I didn't
I
watch the
give it
game.
to
I
him.
saw that stat line. It said 50. I said 56. All
Nah,
right.
I watched it with Raw last night. Like he was balling out. Like essentially, it's interesting the psychology of like basketball when you go on a run and how other teams kind of like you see them kind of recede into themselves. That's kind of what the Bucks did, which is kind of unheard of considering all the firepower and how great they've done this season. But listen,
And
man,
all those guys got playoff experience. Not like these are a bunch of like new
right.
dudes in the playoffs. It's the same team as last year. I don't
Absolutely.
know.
And the Heat don't have Tyler Hero. They don't got, Bam been playing like ass. So, Jimmy Butler willed his way to a victory last night. So I gotta give respect on that, at least that. But yeah, I'm not really betting on the Heat, to be honest with you. Not like not betting on them to win. It's just they're not a team I'm assembling any parlays
I'm not putting
heavily
my money
surrounding
up
for.
on the Heat. I don't trust them. Look, as a Pistons fan, I ain't putting no money on no damn Pistons either. So I wouldn't even know who to put. I wouldn't even know who to put money on for that team.
I
Honestly,
stuck a couple things on Wiseman at the end of the thing, and then they started playing him less, I believe. So,
yeah. So I
but
stopped
yeah,
watching them in February, so I couldn't tell you what happened to the Pistons. I'm not watching those games. Not till they get
but
my guy Victor. But yeah,
well, I've been watching a lot of everything. It's been really fun. I hit on a parlay a couple days ago. What I've been doing is I hit on it because what I used to do is just let my money sit in all the things, and then I would proceed to lose it week by week. So I've been going in, winning, pulling the shit out. I'm assembling a fund for a new couch and probably some clothes and shit. So I can actually enjoy myself for once. But
yeah.
it's crazy. We weren't supposed to talk about this. We were supposed to talk about beef on Netflix.
We were supposed to talk about beef on Netflix. Are we allowed to talk about beef on Netflix now? I feel like it's banned.
No, I feel like we can talk about it like really, really quickly. Let's talk about it
Canceled.
really quickly. I mean, it
Let's
is
talk about it really
canceled.
quickly. It's canceled.
The premise of the show was funny. I think what drew me in was what was that song they played in the first episode at the end?
Was it Drive by Incubus?
Yes, I think that's
No.
what
I was no that wasn't the first episode. The first episode was it Drive?
No, it was fucking. Let me pull it up because I talked to somebody and I was like, "Yo,
He
I think
performed Drive at the church, but what was the song in the beginning? It was a song I
he."
really liked too. I forgot what the hell was it.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck, what was it?" Damn.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Med text.
Every song that it was a website. That's cool. All right, let's see what they played. They played Lick.
First
Oh,
episode.
it was the reason by Hoobastank.
The
That's what it was.
reason. So I was like, "Oh wow, didn't see that coming." Wow, soundtrack. Okay, you got me.
I love
Um,
the music choice on the show. Actually,
but like the show was great for me until probably like episode 9. Episode 9 for me is when that show, like, when you take realistically beef. So beef is about a show about two people beefing. um I love the, Asian American representation throughout the show. So I was like, oh, this is different. Like, this is something that you
yeah,
never really kind of see. So two people beefing. um
that leads to
Boy,
like obsession with each
right.
other
An
to
obsession with
ruin each
each
other's
other that
lives.
lasts for 10 Netflix episodes. um, um, so it continued to escalate in various ways, but I feel like realistically, at any point, I've never had beef with someone that has extended this long with me caring. I don't know if it's like me being an Aquarius, where I don't even like getting in Twitter spats that go on more than like 2 posts.
You
Like,
know what? You know what, Mil? I think me and you are very similar, and we're kind of even keeled in our temper, or even just in like any kind of emotions. Well, I might be a little bit more emotional because I be crying a lot about stuff, but like I also am with you on in the aspect of like I just don't have the energy to be beefing with people to the
yeah,
point where like I mean there's nobody in my life where like it's all on site or some shit like that or like
no, the
I just don't
last
have that
beef
kind of energy.
last beef well, the most notable beef I remember, not notable, but like one of the last ones I had. So I was freshman year in college, and I had actually got out of like this vocational high school, which was mostly guys. It was for engineering and like electrical and computer engineering, so it was like a mostly guys high school. So I
Yeah,
finally got to college, and there were girls everywhere, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing.
women in
um
STEM.
no, I was still in my liberal arts
Oh,
bag
you're
at
saying
this
the black
point.
bag?
Yeah. I was a very big freshman year, so I was talking to a lot of people, and this guy hated that I had the attention of this girl that he really, really liked, and she was like, I think she found, I don't know if she found him disgusting or whatever, or like lame or something along those lines. But I was like, yo, I'm talking to people. I'm talking. He hated me for so long because of that. Like, there was an exercise where people in other classes had to grade each other's papers, and he got my paper and he gave
Oh,
me
he
like
sabotage you?
the worst. Yeah, absolutely. He gave me the worst grade ever. I was like, you can't be serious. This
That's petty as hell.
well, crazy. Yeah, I didn't even end up like, we didn't end up doing anything realistically. Um, she was, as in New York, as New Yorkers say, she was a bait. But
Ah,
but that's like the last like major beef that I remember getting into, and that was like over 10 years ago. That's like almost 15 years ago. Because I don't like doing, but nonetheless, like, I don't know if you've had.
especially over something as trivial as like a girl. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's the sad part is that a lot of times that's what most beef comes down to. Some kind of like for any gender. You know what I mean? A lot of times if women are going at it. 90% of the time, there's of guys involved somehow, even if it's not romantically. Somehow, there's a guy involved. If women ever come to blows, 90% of the time, there was probably some kind of dude involved. And same for men. I only time I've really been in any kind of like friction with somebody. I remember. Damn, it might have been like 5 years ago. I was at the bar with my boy and his girl, and there was this girl that I knew, and I saw her at the bar, and we were just talking, chilling, whatever. And then her baby daddy here, like her ex baby daddy, I mean, well, her ex boyfriend, who was also her baby daddy, like
mm,
pulled up on me. He was like, "Yo, I heard you took my girl out on a date and all." Yeah, I'm like, "Yo, what are you talking about? I just met her just here. How did you know she's gonna be here?" And like, dude, like really wanted to fight me like at the bar. I'm like, bro, I'm not fighting at the bar about this. This is nonsense. And it just like for what, man? I don't understand. Like, what are you gonna gain from this? Like, I forgot who tweeted. I saw somebody tweet the other day. Like, I'm too old to be fighting at this point. Like, I got too
Was
much to
this the
lose.
was this the energy that they pulled up on?
No, it was not.
All right, I'll stop. I'm not even playing the lyrics because it's just.
You don't want to play the lyrics?
No, I'm definitely not. What's crazy is I love this song. I love it. I could never play it again, but I feel like Usher should feel disgusting.
You know what song I was telling my friend about that really just hurt my feelings? Because it really sucks. Cause like everybody involved in the song is terrible. Yeah. Club In by Marcus Houston. There's nothing enjoyable about that song. Everybody on that song is terrible.
I love that song, man. Come on.
When Joe Budden's the best person, like the best person on the song,
yeah.
that's saying something.
Everybody's terrible.
Everybody on that song is terrible. And I love that song.
The way you're doing, and making it doing it to me like, oh.
He bodied that verse too. I ain't gonna look, man. Upsetting.
Everyone on that song is terrible. It's a whole. Oh great, they're doing construction now. Everyone on that song is terrible.
You know what? That's
until now.
That's a good segue. Well, how do you? All right, so you know what? This is a good thing to kind of get into because there was rumors that Vince was involved with the show on Monday or whatever, right? How do you navigate? I'm asking you just like how do you navigate consuming media when it's attached to like people who probably aren't the most favorable to the public? For example, when we watch Beef. And there's the controversy with the character played by John Cho is his name, I believe, and him dealing with whatever stuff he said on a podcast, and then how Ali Wong and Stephen Young kind of responded to it, or just wrestling. You're watching a product of Vince, who from all stories told, it seems like he's not a very good person, does some really bad stuff, or listening to a song with some people who've done bad things. Like it's almost unavoidable. But how? Like, what's your threshold? Like, okay, I can't do that. You know what I mean?
My threshold is R. Kelly. That is,
yeah,
my threshold. I've never realistically, like, a lot of people have done bad things, and I may still consume their content. Like, and it's weird to kind of understand. But I think R. Kelly reached a barometer where there is kind of like no coming back when the art is mixed with all the wrongdoings, and you can't really like listen to it. And then it also affects people in a very different, strange way. I hate the mere fact of like everything that he's done. It's just something that morally doesn't align with me, and it shouldn't morally align with anyone else, to be honest with you. But it just morally doesn't align with me. Now, there are some people who can distinguish the art from the thing, and like more, I guess, whatever yours is, I can't really control your life. But I know for personally me, it's that kind of stint. But like really the reference point for me is R. Kelly. Like a bridge too far, a step too long. There's kind of no coming back from that for me. So like cancel culture in that kind of aspect, I feel like everyone has their own like preferences and their own barometer for it. And I respect everyone's, because who am I to tell someone they can't be offended by something that affects them? But yeah, I mean, there's so many terrible things that have done in the world, and I don't know if it's like, I don't want to say like I can't keep up with them all or can't think with them all, but it's like, I feel like my tolerance with the Vince stuff is definitely not up to the thing of like the R. Kelly stuff yet.
Yeah, no, it's not the same.
Yeah, that's my thing. What about you?
The R. Kelly thing is funny because I always had this dilemma with the R. Kelly thing. I don't listen to R. Kelly's music, but a lot of my favorite songs were written by R. Kelly, done by other artists. Yeah. So that one kind of like, I still guess listen to those fine.
Songs. I can't. I'm like, all right, well,
yeah.
I'm not gonna totally throw away.
Because like, if you're a music person, you can tell an R. Kelly song.
Oh yeah,
by the production, by the way it's written. 100%. So like, there's no hiding. So it. So it's not like it's some kind of like ignorance type thing, like ignorance is bliss or whatever. But it's just like, yeah. So I guess that's kind of the same thing with like WWE at this point. It's kind of like, yeah, Vince is, he's there, but like I'm not watching for Vince. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm not watching for
It,
Vince. I'm pretty much watching for everybody else that's involved.
yeah, so it's like I guess that's fine. The thing with beef and kind of that situation, I guess spoilers, but I mean the character dies, so it's not like he's gonna be on the next season anyway.
Right.
Um, with that being said, I wasn't the biggest fan of how Ali and Steve kind of responded to it, but also I get that too. I mean, we've seen
They're like,
terrible
listen,
people
season
beat it.
two's already been greenlit. It's on the way. The budget has
Yeah,
been approved. Like, we can't
I
stop
mean,
this from now. So it's
we
interesting how, like, morally, even if you morally disagree with it, like, professionally, you kind of have to, like, go along with it. It's a very
yeah, just
strange kind of, like, yeah.
yeah, man. It's tough, but yeah, like I'm with you. I can't fault anybody for feeling a way about like we saw stuff about like I said, Vince kind of supposedly changing the show around or whatever. And if people want to tune out because of that, I mean, I get it. I think it's me personally. I'm not doing all that, but like if you feel like okay, I don't want to watch this show if he's involved, I get it. Um, I just kind of I've been on a crusade for a long time now. I know it's ain't on the docket, but like, yo, we don't need the show rundowns. I don't need to know that. I don't need to know if stuff got cut. I don't need to know
Yeah,
if
realistically.
stuff gets
Like,
added.
I don't.
I don't
I,
consume any TV shows where I know when stuff gets cut. Like when I tweeted this yesterday, like I'm rewatching Breaking Bad. At no point was I getting reports while watching Breaking Bad that Vince Gilligan decided he wanted to change the script. The day before they film. Like what difference does that make to me? You know what I mean?
right. Now, if
Did
I
nothing,
learn it
not,
afterwards, it's a little bit
yeah,
different. But
yeah,
realistically, like before the show, honestly, I don't pay attention to those reports, and I kind of like dodge them in the. We have the spoiler section in our Discord. I kind of like dodge that
yeah.
section before Raws and Smackdowns because I really don't need to know what happens in the show. Like the one thing that's gonna actually make me, I'm gonna look at the card and be like, okay, I'm gonna tune out here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the
Yeah,
card and say that this is ass off
yeah.
rip, or I'm already gonna have preconceived notions of how the show is gonna go, and if it doesn't
It's
go
like
exactly the way I want it, it's gonna be
it's like
it's setting up for disappointment.
it's like so the challenge spoilers, right? So
Yeah,
they're always
you're all in.
I'm all in, but
I'm
realistically,
not.
I know that doesn't make the show. Like me knowing what happens is different than me actually seeing it happen. Like I've known what happens in the world championships for a couple months now. I forget all the minute details and stuff like that, but I know
Yeah,
what happens. But realistically, the show is 10 times better than the narrative surrounding the spoilers itself when no one knows what happened and it's all
yeah,
speculation. So typically I don't tune into that kind of stuff and I don't really care. I mean, if you're gonna spin around the show, spin around the fucking show. But then when people find out of like they'll say like, oh, women's segments were cut in the show, then it's like, oh, here we go. And I'm like, this is just another reason why we all have to hate professional wrestling, right?
yeah.
Like it's just, it's not doing well. I feel like we should segue that into the actual wrestling part of the show because we have
Let's
actually
do it.
quite a bit of news. Um, in the no holds barred section today. Whew, okay. We start off with a doozy, my friend. We coming from the forbidden door between your show and our show is completely real at
I,
this
I,
point.
I can't escape this guy, man. No matter where I go.
CM Punk Watch, ladies and gentlemen, we're officially on CM Punk Watch. Once again, the last report we heard all last week rather, CM Punk Saturday show, June 17th, United Center. They're about to announce it. They haven't announced it yet, but they're going to announce it. Everyone got all the deets, but it's all speculation. Like this is the wildest press release promo run that I've ever seen for a show that hasn't involved anyone actually announcing the show as of yet. But here we are. Um CM Punk was backstage at WWE Raw this week. WWE Raw, not AEW's Raw. Not I don't even know if he's visited Dynamite since he's been gone. To be
I
honest,
don't think he has. I don't think they had that meeting yet, so I don't think so.
so the mere fact that he's been to more Raws than Dynamites over the last 8 months is kind of nuts. Um, very very surreal. I have I have weird I have weird offhand knowledge about this that a mutual friend who jumped in my DMs, said that he actually, who formerly worked for WWE and da 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 da, but he said it was kind of surreal seeing it, and like everyone was
I
kind of
bet.
stressed more than like rather than being like in shock. They were in shock for sure, but they were overall stressed of like what this actually could do, considering Tony Khan is probably going to be calling Triple H at some point. Stop tampering with my guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cause let's be clear. Like CM Punk is still signed to AEW. I know this isn't the first time an AEW guy has been backstage at a WWE show, as far as we know. But like, this is it's
in the
so
midst of everything going on.
yeah, it's so
Why?
strange that he would be there.
Why?
So
Why?
this is my thing, right? He went there and he wanted to be known that he was there.
Clearly.
Clearly, so there has to be some kind of play to this. If I can, put my conspiracy cap on, there has to be some kind of play.
Put it
We
on,
don't
bro.
really know the relationship between CM Punk and Tony Khan and where they're at. We've heard reports that he wants to be back. He's willing to work with everybody and kiss the ring over there. So for him to come to Raw, and then we hear reports that he met up with Miz, who he's had public beef with.
I don't want to say he met up with Miz. Miz was probably pulling in to work.
Probably caught him in the parking lot. Say, hey, I know who I think it is.
That's right. I know that way.
And then allegedly he also had a interaction with Triple H, who he's also kind of had a public beef. Well, a little bit not as public as the Miz one, but if you know type of deal.
How long does beef? So is 10 years
for Punk?
Yeah. How long does it take for beef to dissipate with CM Punk personally?
I mean, look, he seems like a spiteful dude. I mean, hashtag knowing Punk. I don't know, man. I mean, so I guess his beef with WWE isn't as serious as we thought it was. I guess time has passed. I mean, as far as the workers at WWE, I don't even know how many of them he even really knows personally. You know what I mean? Besides
they know him.
Yeah, they know him. I don't think he really knows them besides what, like Miz.
Cora Jade pulled up like, can I get a picture?
Cora Jade, she was there. Shit. So I'm sure he went there to go see some of the producers or whoever's there. I don't know who's over there anymore. But like,
I don't know why all right, so no one knows why he was there. I'm sure
no one knows why he's there. We probably won't know.
No, I feel like
you think so. You think he'll tell us?
Like he will. He says he's going to say something. He's going to appear on some show or something along those lines in the press run leading up to this. My first initial thought was, this is the wildest press run for a Saturday show that I've ever felt in my life.
Insane. This is insane.
This feels like something 50 would do back in 2005. You know,
real publicity stunt type deal.
Yeah, I got an album coming out. Let me, cause a little ruckus. Let me move some couple of things around. But it feels like something that would go on in a publicity stunt kind of way. I'm not sure. He knows. He's a grown adult. He knows everything that's going on. He knows what he's completely doing. If this is for some sort of leverage in that kind of way, I could see him pulling this as a play. Like, because he knows what he's doing. Yeah. Like, there's no way in no world that CM Punk doesn't know that, like, of course, WWE backstage, he needs to be there. But it's this is, I mean, he met with Triple H. Dapped it up with him. Saw a couple of the guys backstage. Was told, all right, you need to go. Vince actually says you actually need to leave. Imagine Vince McMahon telling me I need to leave. I was like, that nigga needs to leave. That's what I would hear,
bro. Oh, yeah, you need to leave.
Yeah, you need to leave. That's exactly what I would say to Vince if he's telling me to leave.
I guess he asked, like, he asked Triple H, can I hang out here for a little while? And Triple H, let me go make some calls, see if this is legal.
Yeah,
and then
nah, he did. He probably went to like let me check the legal actually.
Yeah, let me I don't know how this works.
Tony Khan guy been on our ass for a couple months.
Yeah, I don't.
We
I don't need
almost
that.
showed Buddy Murphy at the Hall of Fame, and I got a phone call because of that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Huh. You don't need that kind of stress. He already got Vince up his ass about this and that.
He probably wanted to stay for the rest of the show. He was
I
probably
bet
like,
he
"Look,
probably
man,
did.
can I chill out? Can I
Yeah,
think?"
hang
And
out. Let me
to
go
which
hang
he
out with
was like,
Shelton. Shelton.
"Yeah."
I don't know. Somebody
To which
he knew.
Legal promptly said, "No, absolutely fucking not." Um, maybe if you were another person, maybe if Orange Cassidy pulls up wanting to hang out the show, sure, we can slip you in. You know what I'm saying? We can slip you in
Yeah.
real incognito. We can change the color of your hoodie. But CM Punk, nah, not gonna happen, Captain. It's gonna be nothing but speculation backstage.
It should be
Nothing
a
but
mess.
tampering. Nothing but Tony Khan calls at 4 a.m. while, trying to put my kids to sleep. I mean,
That's all we know.
that's what
All
we
we
know.
know is he was there. He talked Triple H. He talked to Miz. What that means, it's all speculation at this point. Like, I don't think this means he's going to WWE. I still think the plan is still going to be the Saturday show Collision for AEW, and Punk will probably be the star of whatever show, Dynamite or Collision. I think probably heading towards more Collision, and then it'll be him and his crew
On
doing
Saturday
stuff over
nights,
there.
just
So,
yakking it up.
my
Another
poor
show
spreadsheet.
yeah, I know. Your poor spreadsheet. A Saturday show.
Oh yeah.
You might have to just give up Rampage. You might just have to like dub
But
Rampage.
you know what though? Like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. I don't know who I'm even doing this for at this point. The spreadsheet. I just feel like
No,
I have to keep the
just
I have to
we'll
I have
make
to
something
keep
out of
the
this.
I have to keep the integrity of the spreadsheet. I've already started the year off doing Rampage. I can't just stop doing Rampage. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna mess up the numbers. I have to watch it. So it was the same thing with NXT UK when I knew it was dying. I still had to freaking put him in because I was already doing it. You know what I mean? So
I appreciate
it is what it is.
and integrity of the spreadsheet. Just know that it is completely valid in everything that you're doing.
I've had people tell me they look at my ratings over like other people's ratings. So that's what keeps it going. That people actually care about my opinion about a match.
Listen, if you found a way to format it where people wouldn't have to look at tiny little numbers,
I know, I really do.
Yeah, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out as a team. Speaking of CM Punk watch, we're moving over to another watch. We got Mercedes Mone Watch.
This is a A-show bag right here. Because let me tell you something about the War Report. We ain't talking about Sasha.
You don't know her,
Mercedes.
You don't know her.
Till she show up on Dynamite, I have no.
Hey man, the door is forbidden. Listen, June is a couple months away. So she has lost the IWGP Women's Championship record time. I don't why say record time. That was mad shady for no reason. She has lost to. Let me see. I mean, there's only been 2 champions. I was about to say she is not the longest reigning IWGP Women's Champion. She's just
no. I think Kyrie had that for a minute,
90
right?
90 days. No, she had it for 3 months, and Mercedes has had it for 2 months. But now Mayu Iwatani is now the new IWGP Women's Champion. Forgive me if I pronounced it wrong. Apparently, I fucking pronounced names wrong last week, and niggas was like, "You watch anime? Why don't you pronounce it right?" It's not a real name. I just made some shit up. But the report backstage is that, according to Dave Meltzer and Wrestling Observer Radio, says, listen, people love her. People love her she's well received backstage. She's done the angle on the show. I've heard nothing but good. She's trying to fit in. No complaints about doing the job. No big league. No whatever. She lost the championship in 2 months, which is roughly like the average length of a title reign for Sasha Banks. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a standard. That's a standard Mercedes reign.
Yeah. So, but apparently she's doing great business. She's friendly. She's enjoying the scenery. She's living life and enjoying it in Japan, living her wildest kawaii dreams. You know what I'm saying?
This is always what she wanted. I mean, if anybody's a real Sasha fan, you know how she get down. This is her dream. She's living it out. I'm happy for her. This is what she wanted to do, and it's working out so far. That's cool, man. I know she wrote on Instagram she wants to move to Japan. That's cool too. If she wants to get her Kenny
That's
Omega on and live
yeah.
out there, do her thing. You know what I mean?
I
She's
doubt
single
if she
again.
wants to
She's back on the
continue
prowl.
if she wants to continue doing business in the United States, I wouldn't recommend living in Japan. But
Yeah,
you know,
but
it's
she did announce she'll be on the like they have a show in San Diego, somewhere in California, like next month.
I believe it's
New Japan
Long Beach,
Insurgence, is that what it?
California. New Japan, yeah,
Resurgence.
Resurgence, May 21st, Long Beach, California. So she will be there. That is only a couple weeks away from Forbidden Door. The question now is, will she appear on Forbidden Door? I guess that's the real question. Is she
Yeah, I think
gonna?
she
She
will.
would upstage the entire whatever AEW's got going on, whatever they're doing with their Outcasts and their Britt Bakers and Adam Cole getting beat up and also deceived by women. Um, whatever they're doing over there, this would completely upstage it. I mean, Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Monet is definitely something
That'd be
worth
special.
seeing. That'd be
That's
special.
something. That's something that'll put butts in seats, a la Tony Schiavone. That's something I would want to see. If it's not Forbidden Door, I wouldn't be shocked if she did All In. That's a bigger.
Mm.
If you're gonna have a star of that magnitude, put it on All In.
If you want to be
Why not?
rich, do
Do
what
both
it
shows.
takes.
Fuck it. I don't know. But I do see Mercedes eventually ending up in AEW at some point.
I
They
don't.
have a
Like,
they
not
have a
long
working
term.
relationship with not long term, but like
Nah,
I can see her showing up. They have a
I
relationship with
could
New
see her
Japan.
showing up.
They like bringing New Japan people in for one offs
Right,
and stuff. So
right. I could see
I don't
that.
see.
But I
No,
don't
not
know.
she won't be on the women's roster. She won't have like
Yeah,
a roster page. I don't see that happening. No, she's
no.
gonna do her own kind of freelance deal, and I think that's best
They
for
ain't gonna
her.
send checks to her on a
No,
weekly, monthly basis. No, but
absolutely not.
she will be given a check every now and then for as
Yeah,
long as she stays in her, you know, in her
I
bag.
think this schedule might benefit her if she wants to maintain kind of other outside deals, whatever that is. If she wants to do more TV shows or modeling or whatever she wants to do, I think this is best for her, and I think it's best to not be overexposed anyway. Or especially if she's wrestling the way she was. I haven't seen the matches, but I saw her get kicked in her head pretty damn hard the other day.
Boy had
So
a big ass knot in her damn
big
head.
old
Right.
lump on her forehead. So I
Woo!
mean, if she just wants to do matches every 2 months and do other stuff on the side, freestyle, do little raps or whatever she was doing. You know what I mean? That's cool with me. That's cool with
Yeah,
me. Happy for her. Would I like to see her back in WWE? Yeah, but if she never comes back, it is what it is.
yeah, I'm kind of okay with it. Moving on from Mercedes Monet Watch, got Trinity Watch.
What's that?
Apparently, it's not as apparently, according to the internet, it's not as cool as Mercedes Monet Watch, but it is a watch nonetheless that they're looking out for. Trinity, according to Wrestler Observer newsletter, had too high of an asking price to work under the Bushy Road banner, the parent company of New Japan and Stardom. Um, Meltzer reported that Bushy Road has had to do tightening of the belt of sorts as it continues to feel the financial effects of the global pandemic, which all companies are still feeling, and that Stardom didn't move forward with trying to secure Fatu as a result. So immediately after that, a couple hours later, Trinity went on her Instagram, flashed a big "not true."
So that's Cap. She said that's Cap, Your Honor.
That's cap. Um, but all right, so and then we saw her at a GCW event over the weekend. She's been everywhere. She's been everywhere, and you're never there. You know what I'm saying? She's
You know
been
what I mean?
everywhere. She's been moving around. She's been at ROH. She's been at GCW. She's been at all these kind of conventions. She's been at backstage at Stardom. She's been in Long Beach. She's been in Japan. She's been everywhere, but we have not quite seen Mercedes, not Mercedes, Trinity in the ring. Part of me thinks that she's so there are a couple of things. Either one, people don't want to throw a bag at her, which I believe is like wrestling promoters will throw a bag at anybody who's worked for WWE.
Yeah.
Like literally everybody. You've seen Alex Riley get shots on the thing. We've seen there's more
James
than enough,
Ellsworth get booked on stuff.
bro. We've seen people get money. They will throw the money at it if it means making money. Which is precisely why we don't want her to go to GCW. But another thing is like maybe she just posted some photos of back in the ring. Maybe she was injured. I don't know.
I believe she was injured. I don't remember who reported it, but I think she had like a knee issue or something like that, and she had to get that settled. I think she just recently got back in the ring.
Yeah, because there's no way that no one has paid her to wrestle somewhere yet.
Yeah,
And to be honest with you, it looks ridiculous in that extent of your homegirl getting bread, making money, wearing fancy colored wigs and all this other stuff like that, and you just getting paid dust. So I want to say that there is an excuse for her not being able to wrestle somewhere. That's what I want to say. I want to say that for Trinity right here because I feel like she's worth value somewhere. I don't know where. Where would I like to see Trinity the most?
Impact.
WWE.
I was gonna
No,
outside of the WWE. Obviously, I think that's probably the best position for her.
I would never see
If
her.
it's
I would
outside
never
of
see
WWE,
Trinity.
Impact.
If she's on Impact, I would never see
I'm
Trinity.
not gonna see her. I'll never see her again. But I think they have
I
the best women's division as far as
I
I know,
agree.
like outside of WWE that would work for her.
I thought the
With some,
Iconics did a great job rebranding themselves in Impact before Homegirl had that baby and then kind of like the now no one's wrestling. Um but I thought they did a great job branding themselves at Impact. If Trinity can do the same, I think there's definitely something for her. It's a shame that Mickey James got injured because I think Mickey James and Trinity would like be a
that
great
would have been
heavyweight
fun.
one match. Yeah,
Yeah,
it would have been fun. But they got some stuff going on over there. I think it would be personally great for her. I think Impact would be great for her. Realistically, I know it's tough. She can't really come back to WWE. It ruins the narrative of whatever they did or whatever story they're trying to tell. If she comes back to
yeah. If she
WWE,
comes
and
back, but
people would
also
love to see her. People will definitely give an excuse for her, but it looks shaky in terms of like, all right, so why'd you leave?
I don't even know if people care anymore at this point.
Mm,
As far as Trinity goes, Sasha, I think people would care more, but I think people just want to see Trinity just in general. So even if she did come back to WWE, I don't think it'd be as big of a deal as say if Sasha came back to WWE because I feel
right.
like Sasha was neither of them really said anything, but I feel like Sasha was more kind of like I don't know how to explain it. Like she was more out there, I guess.
No.
And we saw her like she was posting stuff on like IG, but like ignoring like what was going on, just kind of like acting like nothing happened. And Naomi was kind of more like low key about it. I don't really know, but I just feel like the walkout had more to do about Sasha than it did Naomi. I
Mm,
feel like I hate to say it, but Naomi felt kind of like secondary to all of this. Like when people talk about the walkout, usually like, oh, it was Sasha walked out. And very rarely do you hear like, oh, Sasha and Naomi walked out. Like Naomi was kind of like she was there, but like it wasn't the quote unquote important part of it. So like if she came back to WWE, I feel like it wouldn't be as big as a deal. Like it'd be like, oh cool, she's back. And they throw her in the bloodline or whatever they want to do. Then yeah, they're like, oh cool, she's back.
they would have to come back together. But I do see, I do foresee with Mercedes dropping the championship. I do foresee some sort of future with Mercedes and Naomi and Trinity
Mm,
working together because
I hope so.
you can't leave, you can't like just leave
Your girl hanging
granted yeah,
after she stood with you and held you down.
right.
You can't just leave her hanging. I agree.
Nah, you can't just leave her hanging. And not to say that Trinity can't fend for herself, but realistically, like y'all in this together, y'all did this together, y'all Thelma and
Yeah.
Louise this together. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all gotta, they gotta make it together. Um, Another bit of news as we continue to go through these no holds barred. We'll wrap this up very quickly. William Regal, Twitter, that was a thing. Showed up on Twitter with very grammar, like clearly this man bare
He
knuckle
ain't finished.
boxed
He ain't
a
finished high school.
chalkboard. Yeah,
Ain't no way
nah.
he finished school.
I was reading this. I was like, I think I read this right. I think. Um, I didn't know what
What sparked this? I don't either.
yeah, I don't know what sparked this. Um, he must have heard some. He must have heard some jibber jabber backstage. You know what I'm saying?
He was like, hold
Must have-
on.
yeah,
Let
I
me clear this
heard.
up. One thing I do like about Regal is he'll clear some shit up real fast. And I have no reason not to believe everything. Something I don't know this man, obviously, but something about William Regal just tells me he's probably telling the truth when he says stuff. I know wrestlers like to lie, but something about Regal just give me he don't know bullshit like that. He's
Yeah,
old. He's old. He's over it. He's been dealing with wrestling politics since the 90s. I think he just
he says, just so anyone who wants to know the truth, I know Tony summed up a few conversations we had with a quick answer. FYI, Tony called me at 9 p.m. on a Sunday night, and I discussed my reasons for leaving. Time were, good lord, I need to edit this myself. I discussed my reasons for leaving were the time spare where I want to be. And then not only did he tell me where he was and what problems he was having, I told him to get off the phone and take care of his family, and he shouldn't be talking to me right now. I also realized he summed up conversations with brief answers. This is, again, William Regal's words, not mine. I would have carefully crafted this. I'm an editor, damn it. We eventually talked about me leaving, and 2 weeks later in Jacksonville, time spent was the reason for my leaving. No agenda, no nothing else. I've lived through some serious times in 2018 and 19 and realized time is all that I have. I believe this is when he got sick, right?
yeah.
Had a great time in AEW and are thankful. I am thankful, sir. I am thankful for the time I spent there with so many of my close friends and amazing crew. I just want to make it public so people stop misinterpreting it. It's sad that people in our job can't realize that you can be a decent human being without having an agenda or taking advantage. This is the last time I mentioned this. Again, I would like to thank AEW for the gracious acceptance of me and Tony to take me aboard. And just so you know, there are a few spelling mistakes in my tweets, but I spent too much time in school daydreaming about being a pro wrestler. AEW were very kind to me. Just another one right there. And I enjoyed the time there. I made the most of my time there and never double crossed anyone.
All caps and never. Just saying, I never did nothing like that.
Hey man, I ain't sold nobody no dream. I told them what I wanted to do. They pulled me in. I told them what I wanted to do, how I wanted to leave. We figured it out. Someone must have been talking dirty on his name.
Yeah. I would hope it wasn't Tony Khan, but it almost sounded like it was a response to something Tony Khan said. Now I don't listen to everything TK had to say. I know he's on like Busted Open Radio like every Wednesday or something like that. So like he might have said something. I believe when he was talking about Regal was talking about Tony Khan having family issues. I believe maybe like it was his mother or someone was sick.
Yeah,
and I think it seems like implied like Tony Khan felt the way like he was being like not used but like taken advantage of during his situation to get out of it. I don't know, or like he felt like manipulated about it or something, like family stuff. I'm not really sure, but because it's kind of vague. But like, this is a Regal clearing shit up. Like, yo, like, nah, man, everything's all good. It's good. Like, dude, we don't do that.
Yeah. Speaking of clearing stuff up, your favorite team on NXT, the Dyad, they have announced on Twitter that WWE denied their request for their release. Thank you for all the support. I'll never take it for granted. What's my man's name? James Drake says his one expires on the 14th, and then Zach Gibson says his expires on the 15th. So I was like, did y'all sign
of October?
Did y'all?
Yeah, why is that?
Did someone take a day off and they get a lapse or something? I don't know. Either way, they could go. Not be honest with you. It's just, I don't know if
the Dyad.
Say.
Well, first we have to go through the timeline because it starts before this. So they had the match at Stand and Deliver. It's supposed to be Ava's debut. Simone Johnson, the Rock's daughter, for anybody who doesn't know. It's supposed to be Ava's debut match. It's Joe Gacy, the Dyad, and Ava versus Tyler Bate and Chase U. The match was supposed to be on the pay-per-view. Then they got relegated to the pre-show, which is crazy because this is The Rock's daughter's first match, but whatever. So it gets relegated to the pre-show, and then literally the next day, I forgot one of them tweeted like we asked for our release. That's all they said.
Weekend, nigga, come on, bro.
Yeah, it was like the week, it was like the Monday after they like we requested our release from NXT, and then we didn't really hear anything, and then.
Was like,
I guess they said no. Y'all go. Then they were on TV the next week. They were on TV on Tuesday, and then they did. I believe they were on Level Up with Joe Gacy. So they were on TV. They're doing their job. It just seems like they're going to be there until October. That's plenty of time. That's plenty of time to figure stuff out.
I'm pretty sure. If I don't want to say I'm expecting anything coming up, but. WWE releases people at least once a year, so who knows if
I mean, we haven't heard much about it, but NXT Europe is still supposed to happen. Last I checked, if this is a situation where maybe they're just homesick and they want to go back home, maybe they can come up with some kind of deal and say, okay, we'll have you work NXT Europe. You can go back home.
Mean, that may be. It's like, yo, just hold on. I mean, we get the logos back on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
Let's just chill out.
We get t-shirts printed, baby. We don't worry about it. So maybe it's that, but if it's not, I don't know. Dyad, whatever.
I like the Dyad. I like Zach Gibson. I think he's a fantastic. That's my problem with Schism, and that it doesn't benefit Zach Gibson or whatever his name is now. I think he's Rip Fowler. I think that one's him.
He's got a different name. Yeah.
So his best trait is that he's a talker and he doesn't get to talk, which I think really kind of hurts that team. And they will probably get more heat if they let him talk more, because I think he's really good at attracting heat. He had people taking their shoes off and waving in the air. I don't know what that even meant, but like, you know what I mean? Like, this guy used to get heat.
Right.
So to kind of take that away from him was kind of weird. So I can understand their frustration and kind of what their position is. But yeah, I hope maybe cooler heads will prevail. I don't want to see them leave. I don't really know what they would do. I don't know what the UK scene is kind of at right now. It doesn't seem to be very much existent.
The fucking W, bro. That's where they want to go.
If they go to AEW, they're going to be on Dark. So it would be like, what difference does it make? They're not going to be on TV.
No, they're not. But it is what it is at this point.
Well, then I don't know because they got the new show. So who even knows? I don't know.
Collision, baby. The Collision All-Stars.
This is going to be an interesting summer. I know that much.
And also Wembley. Maybe they're like, yo, if we get out now, we can make it to Wembley.
True, yeah.
3 months, 1, 2, 3. That's Wembley right there. Why am I having them talking like
I don't know.
like they're Pokemon villains. Various NXT wrestlers are rumored to be called up during this week's draft. Let's do this. Let's do a little exercise before we head into the shows and then we do our thing. You know NXT more than me on this at this point.
Okay.
Who would you like to see completely ripped away from NXT and be embraced by the warm, cold grip of the main roster?
All right, so first I'm going to tell you who I think for sure is gone, and I'll tell you who I would like to be gone.
Okay.
I think for sure Pretty Deadly are gone. Pretty Deadly, they're having a by the time this comes out, even for Patreon, we'll know what happened. Well, yeah, we'll know what happened, but excuse me. They're having a trunk match at Spring Breakin' against the D'Angelo family. Loser gets thrown into a trunk. So you take that for what it is.
That'll do it. That's funny. I didn't know that.
Zoe Stark, I think, is pretty much gone. She's not really doing much at this point. She's been working the house show loops, the main roster house show matches. Right. She's been getting shot out by Charlotte and stuff. So I can see her gone. Damn.
Can I give you one of my guaranteed ones? One of my guaranteed ones?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if this is a hot take. Braun Breaker is definitely gone.
Braun Breaker, he did not do anything.
And he said, I don't give a damn about this fucking title anymore.
Yeah. He's facing Andre Chase, so I mean, I'll let you know what he's doing right now. But I do
Yeah,
think it'd be kind of.
it would be
My thing
weird,
is
but
because he just turned heel. That's the only thing that stopped me. Like he just turned. It seemed kind of weird to turn somebody and then him leave
he
without
it doesn't seem like
establishing
he has
his heel
any.
character.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he has any title aspirations anymore. He literally was like, "Nah, fuck that dumb shit."
You don't give a fuck about
And
that title. I don't
yeah,
know.
I feel like he's gone.
Yeah, he could possibly go on. I can see that. People I want to see gone. Tyler Bate. He's been in NXT for like 10 years. He can
Yeah,
go. The Creed brothers. They have done nothing for the last 6 months. They can go.
yeah,
Katana Chance and Caden Carter. They can go.
yeah. Well,
They've also been in
I'm
that.
not the
They've been
biggest
tag
fan of
teaming for
them, so
years.
they can.
I
Yeah,
know, but like they can go. They've been there
call one of
forever.
them
They're
off,
doing
but
a
leave the other
bunch
one
of
there.
nothing. um,
I could
I
see.
think those is it.
I mean, there's been rumors of Ilya Dragunov being called up.
Dragunov, I can see that. He's ready to go. Von
There's
Wagner,
there's
I can
been
see him getting
rumors of
called up.
Cora Jade being called up.
Now that one, I gotta strongly disagree with. See, I'm sorry, that young lady is not ready.
Sasha Banks. I was like,
No,
what?
that young lady is nothing like Sasha Banks. I've watched her matches. She looks like she's just like me and Cyrus
This is
often
like
talk
AJ
about.
Lee.
Me and Cyrus often talk about the NXT wrestlers and how we can kind of see the gears shifting in their head, like what they're supposed to do next. It doesn't come natural yet. When I watch Cora Jade wrestle, it doesn't come natural. Like it doesn't feel like it doesn't go smoothly. Like she's still trying to like, okay, in her brain, like what am I supposed to do next? What am I supposed to do next? That match she had with Roxanne at I think it was a Halloween Havoc, you can tell like something was off. It didn't feel right. You know, especially in a promotion in NXT where you can practice the match. Y'all all in the same place every day of the week, same time, so y'all can practice the match. So to me, it doesn't feel like she's ready yet. But Roxanne, I could see her getting called up. Now that they mention it, she has a triple threat match against Indy Hartwell and Tiffany Stratton. I think this is her farewell match.
Yeah,
I think she's out of there.
I can definitely see Roxanne being called up. It'll be interesting. The draft is this Friday and Monday. Usually they make a big ass Usually they make a big ass thing about the draft. To be honest with you, usually they can't step to tell you. I was like, well, they could be split up in the draft. I feel like it's been more in the background.
Only time they did mention it, I think Corey mentioned it when the Street Profits came out.
Yeah, they mentioned it then. I think they did another thing with Elias and
Boogs. like niggas care.
Yeah, I was like, split them off, keep them together. What do you do, man?
I didn't know have they even teamed together?
Yeah, I don't even know if they've been on teams together.
They've not had one match together.
But it is what it is. Let's head into SmackDown this week, or SmackDown from last week, rather. Solid show, I would think. I don't remember all of it because I was in Nick's Euphoria. I was in Nick Euphoria. So, we went up 2-1 in the series. So I was on a completely different. I was in a completely different planet. I just
talk about it, man.
We held them to below 80 points on Friday. Proceeded to demolish 34th Street as we do, and so
you gave me one of the them little Bing Bong videos.
No, I hope not. But that energy, like I had it in my house. I wasn't out there on the streets, but
honestly, I'm extremely happy for Knicks fans. It's been such a long time since they've had anything even remotely this coherent of a basketball team.
Up 3-1 in a series. I don't even remember the last time we scored 3 points to anyone. Someone scoring 1 point. I don't remember anything. I'm not used to leads, bro. So, but playoffs looking very interesting. Way more interesting than this show, but still good. This week we had Gunther successfully defend his Intercontinental Championship against Xavier Woods, who apparently had not been pinned in singles competition since 2021.
I'd like to check how many singles matches he's had since 2021. I feel like it probably been like 4. But
did he break his leg?
Yeah, he was out for a little bit. New Day hasn't been fully healthy in a long time. There's always one of them is always hurt. Yeah, good match though. I thought it was a very standard kind of Woods takes a lot of heat and gets beat up a lot, and he had a little comeback spot. No pun intended. And then Gunther kind of ends it with a power bomb. Beautiful leg drop. That's the kind of the only thing I really remember was a really really nice leg drop from Xavier Woods, who's
nice.
possibly underrated. I think he might be a little underrated. I feel like because of the stable he's in, he gets kind of outshined his in ring work, but he's a fantastic in ring worker.
No, he's been on the grind for a while. Like, how long has it been since we've seen Consequences Creed?
I was like in 8th grade. I feel like, it's been a long. He's been wrestling for a long time.
He's been wrestling for a long time. He knows how to do this. Now he's just now he's in his bag era. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, if it's not a bag, I don't want it. Let's see what else. Oh, Liv and Raquel successfully defended their championships against Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. So that happened.
Shout out Chelsea Green.
Yeah, shout out to her. Doing the best doing what you can with what you got. You know what I'm saying? And making the best out of this opportunity. Whichever show she lands on, I'm sure will be entertaining. And shout out to Sonya Deville too. She's cool. Let's see what else. Zelina Vega granted a SmackDown Women's Championship match under the pretenses of being Puerto Rican.
That'll literally call it qualification. I'm Puerto Rican. You got to give me the match.
Adam Pearce is like, listen, I'm the only Puerto Rican on the roster. You're very J-Lo. I'm from the Bronx.
you see the chancla in my hand. It clearly means I'm Puerto Rican.
I am Puerto Rican. Please give me this match. And Adam Pearce is like, well, I haven't seen any other Puerto Ricans today. So
you're in.
You're in. Let me check with the guys and we'll let you know. And surely enough, she's getting a championship match. This is Rhea Ripley has not had a proper feud since she beat the bricks off of Charlotte Flair. So this is this will be interesting to see how it goes. Puerto Rico's in pretty much like a week and a half from now. So it'll be interesting to see how this all kind of shakes down.
This is kind of it's like we're in such a weird spot. Is this always like this before a draft? We're like it's just such a weird spot where we don't know what people should be doing. We have to wrap stuff up by next week. So like, is there really a point in putting somebody in a feud? But also, we got 8 hours of TV we have to do every week. It's like it's a weird spot.
I feel like bloodline.
Let's do a Solo Sikoa main event. I think he gets split up from the Usos come draft time.
Ooh, wait a minute. That's a hot take. Hold up now.
I think he gets split up. I think they're positioning him and Heyman to do whatever they're going to do and have the Usos on a different show.
Nah, Roman got to make the call. Roman would have to. If there's any gimmicky in this split, it's Roman Reigns making the call and said send Usos to a different roster.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, Roman sends them off. I think Solo kind of does his own thing. It's almost like Solo the proxy for Roman. Yeah, he's like Roman Jr.
But I don't know. You would draft the Bloodline all in the same show, but then that would be a waste of like 4 draft picks. Either way, Solo Sikoa beats the bricks off of Matt Riddle for the second week in a row. No disqualification match.
Cool.
Are we giving Solo too much too soon? Here's my take on this.
Yeah, go ahead. You go first.
I'm partially yes, because love Solo, but he ain't jumping out the gym for me as a competitor. Like,
he's very competent in the ring.
Yeah, he's very competent, but he's not like there's nothing. There's no special X factor to me. He's just Roman Reigns is heavy. You know?
It does. Like, I know he's kind of emulating the Umaga type deal, but it don't feel like Umaga. You know what I mean? Yeah. Umaga was different. Umaga was like explosive, and he was a bigger guy on top of being explosive. So like it hit different, and it was in an era where like you didn't see big guys like that moving like that.
Right.
So with Solo, he just feels like a guy. Like he didn't have that larger than life look. He hadn't.
Not at all. He'd be dressed different. I'd be like,
yeah.
Just be thrown on anything. So I understand it, but then on the other hand, I'm like, listen, we're building. Clearly, this is building towards something.
Yeah,
like clearly, like this isn't just we're not doing. But I don't know if you need to be beating at least 3 different people per week. Like Solo Sikoa beat up Rey Mysterio and LWO last week Monday, and then
Well, don't get me
Riddle,
started on LWO.
and then beat up. We're gonna get started on LWO in a second. And then beat up Matt Riddle again on Friday. So like,
and then beat KO 3 times last month. So it's like, what are we doing? For the record, he is 11-2-1 on the year. If I pull up the spreadsheet, the one being, I believe there were tag matches. I'd have to look. I don't even
have to be.
No, one was Cody.
Oh, right.
One was Cody, and then what was the other one? It must have been a 6-man, I think, that they lost, or like a tag match. I can't. Let me see. I can't find it. But yeah, 2 losses.
You know what's crazy? WWE uploaded a 8-man tag from a year ago. Let me read this off for you.
Mm-hmm.
RK Bro, Cody Rhodes, and Ezekiel.
I remember
versus the Usos, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens.
What the hell?
We have no idea. Things don't matter from year to year, bro. Like,
bro,
I just be looking back and like,
Ezekiel was like a guy who was getting TV time last year. Like around this time last year, he was getting time. Like he was.
Hey man, KO did his best. KO was like, listen,
man, wrestling's crazy.
Wrestling is crazy. Either way, that was SmackDown. Raw.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, Raw.
No, I was gonna say the tag match, but who cares? Okay. Shout out to Ricochet and Braun, even though Braun throwing Ricochet into nothing.
The biggest non-CM Punk news about Raw, is that Triple H came and unveiled a new World Heavyweight Championship. Pulled the velour off and everything. He says Roman Reigns did a great job in managing to secure. I'm like, nigga, didn't he secure it with you? Like the fuck, acting like
you the boss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, you approve this? He said Roman Reigns did a great job in getting himself a part-time deal and not having to be active on the show. And he's got 2 world championships with him. But you know what I'm about to do? Introduce a third. Technically the second. I guess the undisputed unified world championship is like 1 championship now, even though it's 2 belts.
I don't think that 2 belt thing is lasting much longer.
Nah, just drop one of the belts. Who the fuck cares? Drop whichever belts he's held, not the longest. But new world championship will be on whatever roster Roman Reigns isn't on. So I'm assuming Raw.
You know what this tells me?
What?
This tells me that this draft is, what this draft feels like to me, and what I think is going to happen. This feels like, I tweeted this like a couple weeks ago. This draft feels like a very, very hard reset. I think this is going to feel a lot more like 2016 than say the one that was in 2019, where it's just going to feel like fresh new show. I wouldn't be shocked if we get new stages for both shows. Like I think we're going to have.
Heard about that? I don't know about that.
I mean, maybe not immediately, but I feel like that's what's going to happen. Can you remember the 2016? It took a couple weeks before they actually got it took like a month before we got new stages. Yeah, but I don't know how long that process takes to like set all that stuff up. I'm sure it's a lot of money and time. But so this makes me feel like, okay, we're not doing any more of this like SmackDown guys on Raw guys on SmackDown. This is going to be a harsh like split, and Roman's going to stay on whatever show he's on, and the other belt's going to stay on whatever show they're on. And I just saw a report, just briefly crossing the timeline, that is a possibility they're going to do solo brand pay-per-views again, which would be, that's a hell of an endeavor if they're trying to pull that off.
I don't think they're I don't know if the rosters are good.
That'd be tough.
But I don't know that I care enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For a whole Raw branded pay-per-view again. I feel like they try it every so often and then they go back. So like, why are we keep trying this? Like,
different
why?
era.
Yeah, but no, they tried it like 8 different times.
I know, but like even with all this, I think Triple H he's almost been a year into creative. I think he wants now he'll be able to put everybody in a place where they can be, balance out the rosters, and we can go from there. We got 2 new belts, or we got new belts. I'm sure the tag belts they're going to do something with that, and then we can go from there. That's what I hope ideally that comes from this draft. If this is a draft where like a couple guys get moved around and it's like that's it, I'm going to be a little disappointed. But the unveiling of this new belt, it feels like this is a whole new era. We're really about this. This is the true Triple H era going forward.
Well,
That's
what do
how
you
I
think
feel.
about the belt? What are
The
what are your
belt
thoughts on
itself,
the belt?
like physically, like what it looks like.
Yeah, what it looks like.
So when I first saw it, I didn't want to tweet anything like initially. I was just like, I don't know. I still haven't really seen. Have they dropped any real good picture? I know they posted the picture of the replica, but the replica doesn't look exactly the same like the belt did on TV. Like the logo in the middle seemed more like silver. I don't know if it portrayed that way on the show, but like
let me check on the thing. They dropped some
they
great
dropped
photos or something along those lines.
the belt itself. I think it's fine. I think it's obviously is kind of like a homage to the old big gold belt, except there's a big WWE logo in it. I kind of low key wish they made the WWE logo just a little smaller. I understand why it's so big. I know.
If anything, they were like, we didn't make it big enough.
I know how they get down. They want to have that big ass W everywhere, but like, I don't hate it. It's cool. It could have to grow on me. I didn't like the Universal Championship. I still never really. I didn't like the red. The blue looked better than the red. When they switched it to blue, I liked it a little better. But as far as this belt, it's not ugly. I've seen worse belts. You know what I mean?
It's a little.
I'll say 7. I'll say 7.5 out of 10.
I'm right there with you. I'm for it, but also I'm looking at it. I got to see it on somebody. But nah, even still, I feel you. The fucking W in the metal makes it look fucking stupid.
Yeah,
but this is
they would have shrunk it a little bit.
There's a difference between branding and not branding. Where AEW's logo on this damn fucking belt? Let's look at AEW.
It's on there like 10 times. It's literally on every little piece of the belt. It says AEW on it.
This is true. Yeah, it's all over this shit. Ew. No, the AEW got a good looking belt too.
I'm not the biggest fan of their world title. I love AEW's tag titles. I think those are beautiful.
AEW's world title looks like a fucking Decepticon. Like this shit might transform.
I think they have great tag belts. TNT belt. I'm not the biggest fan of like the big old logo in the middle.
Remember when they didn't finish the TNT belt and just brought it?
Yeah, when they brought it out, it was nasty looking belt. Ew.
I was like, gross. Cody, why would you do that, Cody? I mean, so much better now.
Their women's belt is beautiful. I think that's the best belt in American wrestling. AEW women's belt. That thing is fantastic.
Who do we think is going to win this belt? The first holder of this belt.
All right. I saw a lot of people online talking this Cody going to win this belt. I don't think Cody has anything to do with this belt. Whatever show this belt on, Cody won't even be on it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. I think the goal is still for Cody to beat Roman. As far as who wins this belt, my 3 guesses, I would say Seth seems like Seth. All right, I know how Triple H gets down. I think I've watched Triple H booking long enough to know he loves heel champions. So I want to say Seth gets it first, but low key, I think Finn wins it first. I think Finn wins it, and then Seth will eventually take it off of him. But I think Finn starts it off. And then maybe like the third person,
just like
I don't know.
Universal title.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Except it'd be like switched around. The third person, I don't know. Maybe like
a swerve
LA Knight
coming.
or something.
I can definitely see a swerve coming. It's just like you have the opportunity to create somebody when you give him the first thing. Like Seth is already good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Seth. So you have the opportunity to create somebody. So
Gunther?
This is an opportunity for Shinsuke.
Ooh,
this is
you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
I like that. I like that Shinsuke. You're right. I didn't even think about that.
Hey man,
you're right.
You know who also reacted to the news for this? Logan Paul. Logan Paul was like, "Hey, that looks like a good belt, man."
I don't know about that one though.
All right. I don't think he would be the first, but I think he would definitely be in contention. But I could definitely see Shinsuke.
The way Triple H said he like this champ's gonna be here every week. So unless Logan Paul about to be here every week, which I'm sure he would be if they gave him the bag big enough, but
Triple H. Stop
that'd be crazy. That'd be wild.
We're wrestling entertainment, baby. This is not a professional wrestling show. But that would be nuts. I'm sure Drew was like, "Fuck my back."
I do feel bad for Drew. This is
next bit of news. LWO jobbers of the century.
Oh my goodness.
Yet moving merch, but man, they on both shows racking up L's. Big L and LWO for sure.
Let me tell you something. They don't look. It might be controversial. They don't deserve that "Viva la Raza" in their song. They don't deserve that. Not, absolutely not. Y'all can't be a bunch of losers and then fucking have Eddie's catchphrase open. Come on, Eddie wasn't jobbing like this.
Maybe they're shooting above their weight class. Clearly, they're in Rey Mysterio's like feud, but Rey Mysterio is of a different level. Rey Mysterio is a legend. He's like a main eventer. Maybe they're shooting above their weight class. Maybe if we get them, like if LWO is going up against Hit Row, they win in like almost every time.
You know what I'm saying?
So.
Yeah.
Maybe if they go up against not the Bludgeon Brothers, the Viking Raiders.
The Bludgeon Brothers.
Maybe if they go up against them, they're winning every time. Alpha Academy, absolutely.
Yeah, you know how that go.
But the Bloodline and Judgment Day.
Yeah, it's a wrap for them.
It's slow for that.
This is my thing. Like, yo, like I see what they're doing. Obviously, they're underdogs going into their match against Judgment Day or whatever the fuck happens at Backlash. But the thing is like if they win at Backlash or whatever they're involved in, which I think is only Damian Priest, right? LW don't have a match, do they?
Yeah, it's Damian Priest. Yeah, it's just Damian Priest. But it's a street fight, so I'm assuming everybody's about to.
Yeah, everybody can be involved. So like they're losing. They're not even gonna have a win on the show. So I just feel like they're losing just to lose. I don't understand. Santos Escobar is 1-10 on TV.
That's nasty.
He's basically Chad Gable. Chad Gable 1-14, but we expect Chad Gable to lose. You know what I mean? Santos going 1-10. Why should I care about this guy? Why should I care about these guys? It's a situation where like
LWO baby merch.
Yeah, they're losers.
It's the merch that's moving.
I guess so.
It's the BBC, the Billionaires Boys Club of the game. It's the merch that moves us, baby. It's the supreme tea of WWE.
It's definitely like, supreme tea.
We're supreme. Damn, that nigga know how to dress. That's right. That's a fashion guy right there. I had Cody and Finn down as a fun match.
Cool match.
Yeah, fun little match. Actually, which match on this show got the highest rating for you?
Almost every match got 3.25. Well, okay, Balor Cody got 3.25, Ray Damian Priest got 3.25, and Bloodline versus LWO got 3.25.
Okay, all right.
It was a very middle of the road. Yeah, kind of just like nothing was out of the park, but the matches were fine.
There were no Miz and Seth. What'd you give Miz and Seth, by the way?
3.75.
Wow.
That too low?
I don't know.
That might be too low. Because sometimes when I be watching the weekly shows, I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm not watching like in the greatest detail, especially if I know I don't have to talk about it on the podcast.
I feel you. I feel you. All right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just a number.
Just a number.
This Sami Zayn and Bloodline thing continues week after week after week after week.
I can't wait to split them up. Please split these people up. Oh my god!
After week after week, the fun part of it is over. We left the fun part in Montreal in WrestleMania. Now we've got a tag team championship match coming up this Wednesday. It's being billed as the biggest tag team match in SmackDown history, which I guess rightfully so. Maybe it's the same tag team match I main evented WrestleMania. I'm sure if fucking Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper versus Hogan and Mr. T was on SmackDown, it would also be called.
I feel like there must have been a bigger tag. You know, like did Austin and Rock never take team together on a SmackDown before or something?
No, they've had big ass matches. The biggest tag team match in SmackDown history. I'll tell you right now, off the top of my head, the tag team buried alive match with
It was a Big Show and
Big Show and Undertaker versus Rock and
Mankind.
Mankind.
The other one where he
Where
tossed Mankind like 10 feet over.
absolutely, oh my god, how did he not break every rib in his body? And
I
then
asked that question every
Triple
Mick
H
Foley
comes in
match.
to try to interferes, and then Stone Cold comes in and he interferes, and all this other stuff like that.
Special times, man. Special times.
1999, 1999. Either way, Sami Zayn is trying to, seeds of deceit and fucking the brains of Jey Uso. He's like, listen, man. So what happens if y'all lose? I'm like, you're not supposed to be telling me this, bro. And then, Jay gets back to Jimmy and he's like, yo, what happened if we lose, Oos? And he's like, you've been talking to Sammy again, haven't you? So now Jimmy finds Sammy. And it's like, what happened if y'all lose? Kevin Owens go turn on y'all. So everyone has a valid point. I guess none of us are really clean and good in all of this.
You know what the problem with this is? I'm gonna tell you the problem. It's missing Roman. If Roman was involved in this, it would make a lot more sense and would be much more interesting. But the fact that Roman's not there,
got this genie.
I don't even think was Heyman even there this week.
Solo. No, he wasn't.
It just like I don't care because like the whole story is that like they don't want to disappoint Roman again because they don't know what's gonna happen if they lose again. But like without Roman's intimidation factor, like you know who Roman kind of is to me. I don't know if you ever watched The Wire. Roman kind of reminds me of Stringer Bell, if that makes any sense. We're just kind of like because of his stature and who he is, he's really good at manipulating people and intimidating people, like literally like physically, and he just like he knows like what's that book called, like The Art of War or whatever. Like that's right. Roman. Like he knows how to fucking like move chess pieces around for his benefit, so that in the end he always kind of wins. Or like even like a if you've seen Euphoria, like he's kind of like a Nate Jacobs. That's kind of a way. Like if you really think about it, like he's always he's always outside of the weird, you know what I mean? Whatever kind of
ain't nobody making
whatever type of time it was. But you know what I mean? But just like
Sami Zayn whole play about Roman Reigns.
I mean, shit. That damn trial was damn near like the play is low key the one they had in Madison Square Garden. I don't know, but just like he tends to like here. Like without Roman involved in this stuff, it feels like I don't know, man. It just like I don't want to say I don't care, but I kind of am at that point where like I don't really care about these two teams anymore. Like it should have ended there. I don't think we needed like an epilogue of like what happens now. Like whatever the Usos are dealing with Roman, I don't think that needed Sammy and Kevin in it anymore. You know what I mean? Like they can kind of do their own thing and go feud with somebody else. We've seen this enough.
You know what's crazy? What if Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens get drafted to one show, and then they're just like, all right, you got to give up the other titles. And people are going to be like, why couldn't you have done that with Roman?
Yeah, damn, you're right. Unless they do the same thing and just kind of unify those belts and then make new belts from the other show.
World
again, I feel like they've done that like 10 times. But I mean, that's because if they do split them up, it's going to be a situation where like, okay, why didn't you do? You're right. Why didn't they do that for Roman? But
they have not explained this tag title thing at all. But hey, whatever.
Whatever. We'll see. Like I said, most of this stuff is gonna. I'm hoping will make a lot more sense come after Backlash.
So speaking of Backlash, we got a lot of matches announced for Backlash over the last number of weeks to various reactions. Okay, we can go through each of them one by one. Announced on Monday. I think it was announced before Raw or maybe during Raw. No, before Raw. It was before Raw. Io Sky will be going up against Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship in Puerto Rico. I'm kind of with it. I don't know what gave her I don't know why her over Dakota. I don't know why her over Bailey. Especially since
I feel like Dakota get like squashed. Dakota lost in like 3 minutes.
She didn't get squashed. But also
you didn't get squashed?
No, but I think Bianca beat both of them. So it is what it is.
This is another situation where I think will make more sense when the draft comes, because I think Damage Control is getting broken up come draft time. I think Io is going to be on her own show, and Dakota and Bailey will be on a different show. I think
I can
Io.
see that.
This is Io's breakout of the group. I think
Mm,
Triple H is a big fan of Io, and it's time for her to do her singles thing, and I'm with it as well. Damage Control have lost like everything in the last 6 months. They can't beat Bianca at this point. It's impossible. So let's break it up and let Io do her own thing. And
no, I
that's one of
like
my
that.
draft. That'll be one of my draft predictions.
I like that. I like that. So anyway, that's coming up. On SmackDown, we got the U.S. Championship match announced. It was announced that Austin Theory will be defending against both Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. Um, that's a big boy match, man. Doing big boy
That
things.
that that low key might be heat. It might steal the show.
I could see it being a heater. Listen,
That could be a
Bronson Reed
heater.
been on one. He been on one. Um, I don't know if this is any attempt to get the title off of Austin Theory. I know Bobby ain't taking that pin, so
I'm a little scared if Austin Theory loses that belt, where they might put Austin Theory. If they put him
SmackDown.
in that world title contention area, I'm gonna be.
Ooh, they
I'm not gonna.
might.
I'm not gonna like it. I don't think.
Ooh, they might
Oh,
because he might win it.
I know.
What if he wins
I'm.
it?
I would hate that. I don't think Austin Theory. I think he's fine,
That's
but
a
there's
Vince
something.
move. That's a Vince
This
coming up and
that
pulling
that
up
that is a.
Zoom meeting.
Hey,
Patch me in. We changing shit up.
I would. It's something missing. I thought there might be something going when he first did the kind of the character switch up, but he kind of reverted back to his old style of like kind of promo. It just
Yeah,
feels Theory feels very generic to me, and I'm not really interested in what he has going on outside of this triple.
very.
Like the two other contenders in this match, I'm much more interested in than whatever Theory has going on.
Amen. Don't leave
So if
Theory
they
out
put
of
him in
this.
that title area, I'll be like, I get it, but like, nah.
Um, Perhaps the most head scratching out of all of them that was announced. Seth Rollins versus Omos was announced on SmackDown to the resounding. If everyone
What the
could
fuck?
make the Scooby Doo sound at once, um,
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened on Twitter. I was with it. I was. This is the kind of like, and I agree with you and your sentiment about it. The only reason people aren't with it, they're lying to themselves and saying that this is weird. Only reason people aren't with it is because they think Omos sucks.
yeah.
Um,
Almost is
it's very.
extremely overhated online. It's really weird. It's almost becoming like Miz territory, where like Miz seems over. Like Miz is the person to point out. Like if any time, that's like the meme now. Like if anybody goes to WWE, oh well, if they go to WWE, they have to have their first feud with Miz. Like Miz is like
I can't
terrible or
remember a
something.
time where almost really underperformed. Not saying that
He
he's,
hasn't.
I'm not saying that he's gone above and beyond and really doing drop kicks and all this other shit like that, but I haven't seen a situation, him versus Braun, him versus Brock, him versus a lot of people. I
The
haven't
Lashley
seen.
match at Backlash was straight. The WrestleMania one was alright, but the Backlash one was much better. Like I think since Backlash last year, when it's time for him to perform and do a big match, I'm not gonna say it was the best match on the show, but it wasn't a stinker. You know what I mean? Like he doing his thing. It's not like he's wrestling Seth. Like Seth is gonna be able to get a good match out of him. Seth will make it work. He's a vet. He's a ring general. I'm not worried about this match. As far as how it was announced, yeah, what the hell was that? It was like in the middle of SmackDown, just like at 9 p.m. Like, oh yeah, Seth wrestling almost. Okay,
That's
what?
a word. That's crazy. Turn that up.
Okay,
No, I was kind of with it. I was like, you know what? This is an interesting thing. Sometimes Seth needs these kind of matches to kind of like it continues to prove the narrative of how really good he is, and then it also puts almost in a situation where he can improve as well against a really top talent. Sometimes you got to throw them in the fire
you gotta
and
throw him in
see
the
how they
fire.
react. And
Seth,
this is what we wanted for instance, this is what we wanted with Jade for years, right? Imagine
yeah,
they announce Jade versus Jamie Hayter on Dynamite next week. Everyone goes, no one's going to say, oh, this is trash because they're going to be like, okay, this is where she's supposed to be. If Omos is going to get where he needs to be, he needs to face people like Seth.
yeah,
Um, so, hey, man,
100%.
if we fast tracking this, if we're making him a big deal, let's make him a big deal.
I do like how they explained that MVP like requested the match. He's like, I want this match, and then Seth was like, okay, cool. I like at least they like somewhat kind of
Yeah.
explain why this match is even happening because
And then Seth got his little promo too. He got his little like
yeah.
world championship. You know, this is what I'm really in his jumpsuit. I was like, this is a weird fit, but go off, King.
Shout out to King Troy for the one
Hey
time.
man, I don't
I
know if
follow
it
him on
was
Instagram.
I don't know if it was tailored especially for Seth. It looked a little wide in the hip, but you know they made it work. And I expect this match to work as well. And then the final match was announced at the end of Raw this week. To be honest with you, Raw was a trek. 3
I didn't
hours
mind Raw
long.
last night. I didn't mind it. I felt like I went through it pretty quick.
I think it's because I was watching the Heat game. I definitely tuned in because once I saw Jimmy
Yeah.
normally I don't care. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't think I watched any of those games of that series.
Normally
So.
I really don't care, but when I heard he was going off, I was like, all right, let me just tune in to watch this. But with that said, end of Raw. I was surprised there's no other Judgment Day, no LWO shit that was going on.
Did it seem like there were like a lot of people kind of missing on this show?
Like who?
I feel like there was no Heyman. I think who else did we see? Because I was like, where's was Kevin? Oh, Kevin was there. Okay,
Who
Kevin.
was
I
there?
forgot.
Yeah, no,
Riddle was
we had
there. Yeah, I guess
Trish was
everybody
there.
was there. Yeah, I guess
Trish was
everybody
there
was there.
too. Remember Trish? Trish was talking big cap. She was talking big
You're
shit.
right. Trish was there. Okay, you're right. Maybe people weren't missing. Maybe I'm bugging.
But nonetheless, they did the whole show thing. You know the shit they used to do back in the Attitude Era. It's like this man is coming, and then at the end of Raw, he finally shows up. Music
5 minutes before the
booming.
show.
Oh my god, the music hit. I was like, oh, this is lit. I was
Bro,
like,
he came out like Stone Cold in '98. He came in straight up pickup truck, cowboy attire. He debuted his new Adidas. Came out with the kendo stick. Crowd going crazy.
Hey man. And he said in perfect English, he's like, listen, I'm not hosting Backlash anymore because I'm gonna be whooping your ass at Backlash on whatever day, you know. Blah, blah, blah. So this was a good closing segment for Raw. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That was this is cool. I think like people don't really realize like how cool this is. Like I think we're older now, so like and like Bad Bunny doesn't hit us, maybe like the youth does. In a way, we're like, yo, this is one of the biggest. Like, imagine if this was 2002 and like I don't even know, like 50 Cent was
showed up on Raw.
Yeah, like on Raw, like how crazy that would be. Like in their peak.
It's murder. It's murder.
like that is like it's insane. He's dude was just at Coachella not even on Saturday. I think he was headlining Coachella, and then on Monday he's in where were they at? Chicago. With a kendo stick in his hand. Like this dude is nuts. This is insane. I like the fact that it's a street fight because it can cover up for Bad Bunny, who's obviously not a professional wrestler. I mean, he can do some spots here and there, but with a street fight, you can kind of hide whatever he can't do.
And I believe this is his first singles match. So he's definitely got a lot more to prove than in the previous WrestleMania match. He's going up against a guy who tagged with at WrestleMania 2 years ago.
So he's familiar with this guy. It makes sense.
Right. So it's all, we're making it happen. And we're going to see how this goes.
We know Dom's going to get involved. We know Ray. Right. We know all LWO. It's going to be a big old... It's
very interesting they didn't get Logan Paul on this show at all. They're like, hey, man.
Yeah. He might show up. Who knows, man? Who even knows?
This is true.
Man, look, I think did that main event? You think Bad Bunny, Damian Priest is the main event, or do you think Brock Cody?
Yeah,
Brock Cody's main event.
I think that's a good question.
Or the 6-man. There's like 3 matches that could possibly main event this show.
No, I think it's between Bad Bunny and Damian, and then Brock and Cody. All right, this is where I'm going to go.
Give it
to Bad Bunny and Damian. I would give.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you leave the crowd happy with a Bad Bunny win. Over Damian Priest.
Especially if you're going to have Brock beat the shit out of Cody or something.
Which I think is going to happen. I think Brock going to whoop Cody's ass. I think it's how the show starts off top. Let's get Brock to whoop Cody's ass. No, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to do it. I know y'all will do a Backlash prediction next week, but like I think Cody should lose. It's tough. It's tough because he just lost a big match, but
Hey man, gotta lose sometime.
I think he takes that L and then he gets to win back, maybe over at Money in the Bank. They have a rematch or something. Run it back. He gets the win back, and then somehow he gets a match against Roman at SummerSlam. That's my hope. That's kind of where I'm. That's my Quan booking
Hey man,
for Cody, and then hopefully that's how it goes. But we'll see.
we'll see.
The card looks good. The card looks good.
Card looks definitely good. It's definitely worth watching. It'll be next week Saturday. So make sure you guys tune into that for my prediction. I'll let you know next week when we have our prediction show for WWE Backlash. But until then, Quan, first of all, thank you for showing up, man. Of course,
anytime.
Hey, man, follow me at the Comeback Spot on Twitter. Make sure you listen to the War Report every week. Listen to it this week if you want to hear J5 and Cyrus. I don't know how much AEW they're going to talk about, but it's definitely going to be a show when they talk about it this week. So make sure you tune into that this week. Continue to follow the A Show RNC on Twitter, the A Show RNC on Instagram. Follow us at the A Show on RNC Radio, anywhere where you listen to podcasts. And yeah, man, just continue to like, subscribe, share, and everything. Like I had a great time, Quan. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care, everybody. Peace.